So when it was announced that Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg were going to be the creative team behind a new animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, I was like, okay, that's interesting. I mean, the guys behind Superbad, The Interview, shows like The Boys and shows like Preacher, these are all pretty decent movies, pretty decent TV shows. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. Let's see what happens. Then when I saw the trailer, whenever that came out, I was like, okay, I mean, yeah, that actually looks pretty decent, but we'll see what happens when it comes out. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is out. Is it any good? Let's find out. Mutant Mayhem tells the familiar story of the four turtles and Splinter. This is a fresh version of the story. It's not connected to any of the iterations of the cartoon. It's not connected to the original movies from the 90s. It's not connected to the animated movie in the 2000s. It's not connected to the most recent live-action movies from, produced by Michael Bay and starring Megan Fox. So it's a fresh take on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I say fresh take, it's, the movie retells the familiar origin story of the four turtles and Splinter crawling through this green ooze and becoming, mutants. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Cut to 15 years later, they are about 15 years old. Splinter is older. There's a funny bit of exposition that kind of like deals with that, which was quite nice. It's 15 years later. They are living in the sewers in New York City. They hide from the outside world. They only go out for like grocery runs and things like that. And while on one of these grocery runs, they bump into a teenage April O'Neil. She's a high school student. She is a wannabe journalist. She is immediately taken with the turtles and their charm. She's not afraid right away, which is a surprise to the boys. So they strike up a friendship. And they hatch a plan. The plan is to rid Manhattan, to rid New York City of this current crime wave that's happening, led by a mysterious supervillain known only as Superfly. Plot-wise, that's pretty much it. I'm not going to say too much more because I don't think much more was in the trailers. But yeah, that's pretty much the plot. But is it any good? Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Now, I should preface this by saying I'm a child of the original Turtles cartoon. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I loved the Ninja Turtles. If you ask me what was I into as a kid, you'd get one of three answers. I would either say WWF wrestling, I'd either say dinosaurs, or I would say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or Hero Turtles as it was on the cartoon in the UK, because, ninja was a bad word, apparently, so it was Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles in the UK. I still know the theme tune word for word, beat for beat, and I'm going to sing it for you now. I'm not, relax. You could say I was predisposed to like this movie. I've actually enjoyed every incarnation of the Turtles franchise, of the property. I enjoyed the cartoon as a kid. I enjoyed the original movies as a kid. Even Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Turtles in Time. I enjoyed the various animated movie and TV shows. I even enjoyed the most recent live action versions of the Turtles, the ones with Megan Fox, produced by Michael Bay. My 9-year-old calls those movies the Buff Turtles movies, because the turtles in those movies are pretty huge. So he calls those movies the movies with the buff turtles. Yeah, I even like them. This one, it's an animated movie based on a beloved 80s and 90s IP, full of pop culture references from the last 20 years, with a pretty banging 90s hip hop and R&B soundtrack. So I was predisposed to like this movie. I even remember my legend of a mum making me a Raphael costume from scratch for Halloween one year when I would have been maybe 10 or something like that. She made it from like crepe paper and, I don't even know what else, but it was amazing. It was a full Raphael costume made from scratch for Halloween one year. So thanks, Mum. The look and the style of this animation is very very cool. It's very new. It's very fresh. It's definitely got like tones of Spider-Verse. I think a lot of animated movies since Spider-Verse have taken a leaf out of that book, just in terms of its style, in terms of its 2D sketch but modern, slick look. It's hard to really put into words, but it looks good. It looks really cool. As I mentioned, it's got a great 90s hip-hop, R&B soundtrack. There's quite a few needle drops that are really on point, and the score as well is actually really good. I did notice the score in a good way during the movie, and I thought that kind of reminds me of the score for Soul a little bit. And then I checked on IMDb, and yeah, it's from the same composing team. It's from Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, who have done some amazing work in movie scores over the past decade or so, or 15 years, 20 years. Anyway, the score is really good. The voice acting is very good as well. For the four main turtles, there's no stunt casting. There's no like mega A-list voices for the four main characters. The teenage turtles are actually voiced by teenagers, at least from what I could see on IMDb. They looked relatively young. So if they're 30 years old, they certainly don't look it. They look like teenagers. They sound like teenagers, and that really plays to the film's strengths. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sound like teenagers, which is a good thing. Splinter is actually voiced by Jackie Chan, and there's a 10th level Inception meta moment in this movie where he is teaching the boys when they're a few years old how to defend themselves. He's teaching them, martial arts. And how does he teach them martial arts? He shows them clips of YouTube. He shows them movies. He shows them kung fu movies. And some of the movies that he shows them are Jackie Chan movies. So we have Splinter, voiced by Jackie Chan, teaching the turtles how to do kung fu by showing them Jackie Chan movies. Genius. Ice Cube deserves a shout out as well. He plays Superfly, the villain of this story, and it just sounds like he's having a ball playing Superfly, and everything, all of his character beats seem very on point for the character and for Ice Cube. Top marks for the voice cast all round. 3 generations of my family went to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem at the cinema. Myself, 2 of my kids, a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old, and my mum, who remembers going to see the original 90s movies of Turtles with me when I was my kid's age. So I think she had like a nice little moment with that. She did say she preferred the 90s Turtles movies to this movie, but she did say this one was pretty good as well. Both my kids enjoyed the movie as well. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's good fun. It's not too long. The animation looks great. The voice acting is great. So 7 out of 10 for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I might do an unboxing video of the collectible vinyl soundtracks that I've got for the original 3 Turtles movies. You can see some of them here and here. So if I've done that video, I will link to it here. If not, you'll just see a link to some other movie reviews or something. I'll change that as and when I record that. If and when I record that video. Like this movie, but as I said, I was predisposed to like it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I will catch you on the next one.